Come with me, the tomatoes are here. I arrived here to change the world and make peace with good food. A group of us planted the orchard that's currently at Orchard Hill now. So it was a very from the ground up kind of thing. Here we are, we're growing food. We have children. Well, there's no early ed here. I guess I'll take care of the children. I was already very absorbed in finding radical and new ways to be with the children and bring out their strengths.
All you need is a rake and a hoe and a piece.
It had plenty of challenges, but I guess what I learned is the resilience of kids from all different backgrounds, and that the more we worked together and the more we did things together, as different as we were, that each one would develop their skills. That continued to be true, and I was so excited about it. I just wanted to share it. And so I just invited neighbors who needed childcare, anybody. And that was, it's like the seed group that later became the Orchard School.
I'm a New Hampshire Master Gardener, and so I volunteer with a lot of different organizations. Mostly I've geared my focus on flowers. I like to share them, so I've belonged to #GrowingKindness, and I share bouquets with neighbors and elderly people. I am very active in environmentalism and sustainability. It is really important to me that we understand that this is our planet and we need to take good care of it. Everyone can do something. Another thing that I do is I run a Parkinson's support group, and we started it when my husband was diagnosed 16 years ago. So I facilitate that group. That really touches my heart. Like at first it's not that hard. It's a disease that is progressive, and we've progressed, and you see how it impacts people. And we've had this group 16 years now. My work in the Parkinson's support group and with my husband is really important to me.
I'm from New England originally. Coming back here, it was like coming back after 35, 40 years, and I knew no one. So I really wanted to get involved in the community so I could know people. I have a special place in my heart for older people, and so I really like to make meals and try to help them out. If I can bring them to doctor's appointments, I do that. But a lot of these things anybody can do, and it really makes you feel good. I think Keene just encourages everyone to get involved. There's all these little things that people can do that people may not notice, but you're really helping someone, and it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. It's only the person that you're helping that it matters. And sometimes those people get lost. Seeing the smile on their face and they don't have to worry about cooking. It's just something when you give, you feel good.
I work with grades pre-K through 4th grade primarily. I work with students, I work with teachers, I work with parents and families, and I think that's primarily why I'm here. I always knew I wanted to do something in the helping professions. I wasn't quite sure what that was gonna mean when I was younger. That was where I really just felt like I was at home. Like I was always somebody that a lot of people would come to bounce ideas off of, or they needed help in different areas. And I care about these students as if they were my family. And I work in a small school, so truthfully, they kind of become my family. These kids, I'm invested in their lives, and all of the things that they go through mean something to me. I want them to love coming to school, and I want them to feel like the people at their school love them. I don't want to let them down. I want kids to walk away from their school experience remembering how awesome it was. I'm surrounded by extraordinary women. It takes a really special person to teach children. It's a hard job, but these women come to work every day and they just focus so hard on how can I provide the best experience for these kids. They just want what's best, and they're very selfless, and it's just really cool to be working amongst some really incredible people who just want to be helpful. And I think, if you can surround yourself with people like that, that's always going to be your focus.
Afternoon from 2:30 to 5:30. It's funny because when I go to work every day, I don't think of it as being extraordinary. My job is working with families that are in crisis. Kids can be at risk for a number of different factors, but a lot of these kids are living in families that are lower income, single parent households, sometimes there's some substance misuse. I think of them as extraordinary, and I'm there to aid them in seeing their possibilities. These families, these kids, they hold a place for me. I want to see them have successes, set little goals and maybe meet those goals, or not always feel like they're not okay. There's a lot of times when I can't get people to the place they need to be. I guess I'm just willing to come back the next day and give it another try with them. So maybe that's extraordinary, but I really think they're extraordinary.
6 p.m. having arrived, I will call to order this regular meeting of the planning.
I decided that I was interested in what was going on in the city as a whole, and I just found myself getting together with friends and realizing that we were griping about things that were going on in the city, and none of us were really showing up to do anything about it or going to the meetings. And I started getting more involved in what was happening on the city level. I ran for an open position on city council and was appointed, and at the time there was no one like me being represented. There were no women that were my age that had children, and I brought a really different perspective. It's been really a great way for me to tie in something that I care about and I'm passionate about to something that affects the community. I'm not somebody who wants to be stagnant. I love learning, I love growing as a person, and I love doing things that people say can't be done. I think women should have a voice in a lot of these spaces, and I have been really fortunate to get a seat at the table, and I want to do right by that, and I want to have other young women, follow in my footsteps and step up and do great things in this community, and I'm hoping that I can be part of that.
I started off in the community as a parent in the Keene School District, and as my kids went through the school system and became older and adults, I was able to volunteer more in the community, and I'm currently the board chair of Monadnock United Way and the vice chair of Monadnock Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Coalition. And then I participate in partnering for public education and as a member of the Chesterfield Revitalization Group. This community has been great to me, especially as a young mom, and I've always wanted to give back, so I've tried to find different ways to do that. The community does an amazing job supporting each other, and I can't help but want to be part of that. Seeing other people do the work that they're meant to be and helping them do that and find it, it's so energizing for me. It's incredible. Yeah, it really is the fabric that makes our region really strong.
You can do it! You can do it!
I'm a nurse manager at Cedar Crest Center. I've been there for about 9 years. I started as an LNA and got my LPN and then RN and then came back as a manager. I never intended to work with children. I stumbled upon Cedar Crest as an LNA and immediately fell in love, and I never left. I've been there ever since. There's not a lot out there for children that have medical needs. Cedar Crest is actually the only facility within New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. Those kids are truly happy down to their core. They are wonderful to work with. They taught me patience and compassion. It's really amazing being able to work with children that are just so special. Getting to work with these families has been very eye-opening and a wonderful experience, just to see how we can help and improve, the child's life, but also the family's life. It's a rewarding feeling to be able to make their childhood as special as any other child's life. Well, I hope the families and the kids know that I am so thankful that I have the privilege to be able to care and work with these children and families, because it really is amazing.
Parenting is hard, and we all need supports. And so it's really great, especially if you're concerned about your child's development, if your child is born with a genetic disorder, if your child needs those helps and those therapies. It really is so meaningful to have somebody who is in your own home, providing those supports, talking with you about the challenges and the struggles, giving you real-time supports to help make those differences. And so a lot of our families and our providers just form these these like lifelong connections. It's actually one of my favorite things about being at Rise is going out and doing community events. I like to say that there's 2 degrees of separation from Rise because just everybody has a Rise story, and it's always so positive and where people's children are at now. And since Rise has been in existence since 1981, you know, we've not only served, you know, children, but now they're grown up and have children and, you know, or generations of families. So it's really special. I just really firmly believe when we give families what they need and children what they need, they're just going to thrive and soar.
I don't like to talk about myself. I don't know, I'm very chill. I'm not super professional. I cuss a lot, which is actually perfect in a fitness world because then if I'm myself, others feel free to be themselves. The studio is a very easygoing space on purpose. Laughter all the time because we want folks to be comfortable coming as they are, truly, with that whole culture and goal in mind, in that we want it to be very welcoming and open and like where folks can come just be themselves and work out and enjoy working out. Lifting weights is very empowering for women. And you know what's really great is when you see other girl, and listen, a lot of women, the stigma is still out there that like lifting weights is gonna make us look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not, that's like so hard. There's so much work to get there. So when women come in and they're like, oh, I'll take the 3-pound weights, I'm like, you can do the 10s. And they'll use the bigger weights and you watch them get like a little taller and a little more empowered and they're like, hell yeah. Yeah, I can, yeah. There are folks that like, they love to go running in the morning. I am not that girl. You couldn't pay me to run down the street. Like, I'm not doing it, sorry. But if there's a fun group of ladies I'm gonna go work out with, I'm way more inclined to go have a good time. And at the same time, yes, I'm working out.